What is opening day without drama, right? The Miami Marlins got stunned by the Pittsburgh Pirates as the Pirates bullpen came through for Pittsburgh in a 12-inning thriller, and Jonah Heim receives the ultimate redemption story as the Texas Rangers walk off the Cubs on opening day. A brand new 305 Rangers starts now. Baseball is America's pastime, but in Miami, Florida, and Arlington, Texas, it means that much more. This is the post-game reaction podcast to the Miami Marlins and the Texas Rangers. This is 305 Rangers. Hello, Marlins and Rangers fans everywhere, and welcome to another edition of 305 Rangers, your post-game reaction podcast to the Miami Marlins and your World Series champion, Texas Rangers. I'm your host, Scarlett Weisberg, and I would like to thank each and every one of you so much for tuning into today's program. And you can find 305 Rangers, which is 100% completely free and available on your favorite podcast app like Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, CastBox, all that good stuff. You can also find 305 Rangers on my YouTube channel, NJHawk40. If you are watching this show on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it, hit subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell so you know when the next time 305 Rangers goes live on YouTube, and please leave a nice comment down below. Keep it positive, please. I don't want to see any negative comments on my YouTube channel about 305 Rangers. I just speak passionately about my two baseball teams that I'm covering, okay? Give the show a follow on those platforms if you can. Please turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, spread the word to any fellow Miami Marlins or Texas Rangers fans out there. And please give 305 Rangers a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. If you are a Spotify listener or an Apple Podcast listener, please consider giving the show a 5-star review. I would greatly appreciate that. It is an amazing way to support the podcast, and I truly appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in to 305 Rangers. Well, what is opening day without some drama, right? There were a lot of games on opening day, a couple of blowouts, a couple of thrillers, considering how the Baltimore Orioles blew the brakes out of the LA Angels. The Arizona Diamondbacks look like they could repeat as National League champions over the Colorado Rockies. 16-1 was the score of that game. My Lord, that game was over by the third inning. A 14-run inning? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I understand big innings are a thing in baseball, but my God, a 14-run inning? I get it's the Colorado Rockies, but still, Arizona, you didn't have to go that hard on them. I mean, my Lord. But we're here to talk about our two teams. The Miami Marlins and the Texas Rangers both went to extra innings on opening day. But we had a split of the outcomes. One game was a win and one game was a loss. We're going to talk about the loss first, then I want to talk about the Miami Marlins. And let me just say, the atmosphere at Lone Depot Ballpark in Miami was just absolutely incredible. They had a playoff type atmosphere in Miami. I just hope that Lone Depot Ballpark continues to be filled up every single day. But I understand in recent years, fans are not showing up to Miami Marlins games. And I don't know why that is. I really don't know why that is. Maybe there's a lot of traffic in Miami. To all of my Florida people that are listening to this show, you might probably know what I'm talking about. Or maybe in the last few years, the product on the field wasn't really good enough. I mean, the Marlins have been the rebuild stock of MLB for years. And then last year, as many of you know, the Miami Marlins clinched a spot in the playoffs in a full regular season for the first time in almost 20 years. But The atmosphere yesterday at Lone Depot Ballpark was just absolutely incredible. It was like a playoff type atmosphere there. The towels were waving. It was just an electric atmosphere. And they did get to a really strong start. They had a 5-2 lead at one point. Shout out to 3 Marlins that really stood out in this game. Actually 4. I thought Jesus Luzardo did an amazing job. He did an amazing job in the 5 innings that he pitched. I thought his fastball and his slider worked absolutely well. He was absolutely shoving through 5 innings for the Marlins. Good stuff for him right there. I thought Josh Bell was really impressive. He got 2 hits on the night. Jake Berger was really impressive. He got a couple of RBIs. Tim Anderson, welcome to Miami. His first hit as a Marlin was an RBI double. Really good stuff. But unfortunately, the Marlins couldn't hold on to the 5-2 lead because of O'Neal Cruz go-ahead home run to tie the game, a pinch hit home run for a pinch hit home run by Pittsburgh to break the game open, and then Jared Triolo hit a go-ahead RBI single in the top of the 12th inning to finish off the excuse me for the cough, I got tickles in my throat. To finish off the rally for Pittsburgh as they stunned Miami 6-5 on opening day. There were a lot of guys that I got to give credit to, more specifically for Pittsburgh. The bullpen for the Pirates, I thought, was the difference in this game. The bullpen for Pittsburgh held the Miami Marlins to only 1 hit. Only 1 hit since Keller left the game. He gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, walked 2, and struck out 3 over 5 2/3 innings. The Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen really did a hell of a good job and held the Miami Marlins to just 1 hit. Luis Ortiz pitched critical shutout innings in the 10th and 11th, getting the Marlins to ground into double plays twice to set up Hernandez. And Luis Ortiz was credited for the win in this game. Jesus Luzardo allowed 2 hits and 2 runs, walked 2, and struck out 8, 1 shy of matching the club record of 9 opening day strikeouts set by Josh Beckett in 2004 and the King Jose Fernandez in 2014. It was not only Triolo and O'Neal Cruz that stepped up for Pittsburgh. Brian Reynolds got the scoring started for the Pirates with a 2-run home run. They briefly tied in the 3rd, but the hitters largely struggled against the left-hander, tallying 18 strikeouts as Miami went up 5-2. The Marlins are facing injuries to several pitchers, as you know, in the starting rotation, and Skip Schumacher opted to take Luzardo out after 5 innings and 85 pitches in his dominant start. Luzardo said about that, "If you ask me, of course I want to go more, but it's early in the season, understandable. Schumacher told me what it was. I definitely felt good to continue." Pinch hitter Eddie Olivares and shortstop Neil Cruz hit solo homers off the Miami Marlins relievers Anthony Bender and Andrew Nardi and Sixto Sanchez. Michael A. Taylor scored on reliever Anthony Bender, tying the game at 5 in the 8th. Josh Bell singled twice. Jake Berger had 3 hits for the Fish, who now have lost 6 straight opening games, played at home, dating back to 2014. Tim Anderson, former AL batting champion who signed a 1-year deal with the Fish, had an RBI double in his first at-bat as a Marlin. And now Luis Ariz, he went 0 for 6 in this game. But I'm not going to sit here and say that Luis Ariz was a bust. Luis Ariz is a fluke. Luis Ariz is not a good baseball player. He recently won the NL and the AL batting title, okay? I know he went 0 for 6, but it's only 1 game, people. It's only 1 game. I'm not going to sit here and say that Luis Ariz is not going to repeat the same stuff that he did last year. He could still do that. He's too good of a hitter to not repeat what he did last year. So yeah, he went 0 for 6, but take a chill pill. Relax. It's only 1 game. If he continues to do that on a game-to-game basis, then that will be a different story. But it's only 1 game. The season just started. I'm not gonna overreact to that. Keller really gave credit to the Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen. He said, I think when I left the game, it was 5-2. If we could just get back into it, I knew our bullpen was going to lock it down, and they sure as hell did. I mean, if the bullpen limited the Miami Marlins to only one hit, they did something right. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jared Triolo, O'Neal Cruz, did a lot of things right. As they locked it down, they stunned the Marlins. They came back and won this game by a final score of 6-5. Brian Reynolds finished 2 for 5 for Pittsburgh with a home run and a couple of RBIs. Triolo went 1 for 6, but hit the go-ahead RBI. Olivares with the biggest pinch hit of his life. He hit a home run to get the Pirates right back into this game. Michael A. Taylor went 1 for 5, but had a critical RBI. Josh Bell went 2 for 4. Jazz Chisholm Jr. went 1 for 3. He scored 2 runs. Jake Berger had a 3-hit night, 3 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Tim Anderson went 1 for 5, and he scored an RBI in his first game as a Miami Marlin. As far as the pitching win and losses, Luzardo pitched to an absolute no decision. Luis Ortiz got the win in getting 2 innings. Just heading 2 innings. Cronin got the loss, 3 innings, 1 hit, 3 Ks and 2 walks. Hernandez gets the save, the first save of the year. Pretty rough start for the Miami Marlins considering they had a 5-2 lead, but the Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen was just too good. Give credit to them. I think the Marlins are still going to win the series, but they gotta generate more runs on offense. It can't be just Berger, Chisholm, and Bell each and every night. Somebody has to step up besides those 3 guys. It's early. It's just the start of the season. I'm not going to overreact and say it's a lost season for Miami, but I need other guys to step up. Good job by the Pirates and good job by the bullpen. Coming up next, it was a thriller for the Texas Rangers taking on the Chicago Cubs as Jonah Heim achieved ultimate redemption on opening day. We're going to talk about the Rangers' win in their first game as world champions when 305 Rangers comes right back. Welcome back to 305 Rangers, and it was a championship celebration inside Globe Life Field last night. The banner was raised. It was an emotional night. It was a special night for every single Texas Ranger fan that attended the game last night between the Rangers and the Cubs, especially for me, seeing the banner, seeing the World Series trophy, seeing Josh Boers, the World Series hero, carrying the trophy, and Bruce Bochy on the mic saying, I know we've been waiting for a long time, but we are going to bring more championships. I love that. I love that for Bruce Bochy. I strongly believe that the Texas Rangers are going to run it back this season. And this game between the Rangers and the Cubs simply had it all. They had really good pitching performances, including especially Justin Steele for the Cubs. I thought he was absolutely masterful against the Rangers. I thought the Texas Rangers at times were undisciplined. Every first pitch that Justin Steele threw, they swung at it. And I know that the Rangers won the game 4-3. And I'm going to get into that win in just a second. But that is one of the negatives that I have when it comes to the Texas Rangers in this game. I thought the plate discipline that the Rangers had was terrible at times. I thought the base running was absolutely clueless considering Ezekiel Duran making a really bad read, Evan Carter making a bad read. He thought that the ball late in the game was going to fall down, and one of the Cubs fielders caught it, and he got doubled up into the double play. Duran and Carter both got doubled up, setting up double plays for the Cubs. That is a really bad call. And speaking of bad, Jonah Heim, I need to talk to you for a second. I need to talk to you, and I need to talk to you specifically. You are an all-star catcher. You are one of the biggest reasons why the Texas Rangers won a world championship last year. You cannot, by any circumstances, and I don't care if it was a bad call. It was a bad call. The ball was clearly tipped and went to another direction. Went to a different direction. It was clearly a foul ball. Clearly a foul ball. And Michael Busch scored from second base on what Heim thought was a foul tip, and he didn't immediately retrieve the ball. It appeared on slow motion replays to tip the bat. Though that kind of play isn't subject to video review, which is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. In my opinion, that kind of play should have been reviewed. That play should have been challengeable. But give me a break, Major League Baseball. If you're not gonna say that foul tips cannot be reviewed, help me make it make sense. Because I thought Fairchild, the umpire that made that no foul tip call, it was absolutely atrocious. Absolutely atrocious and absolutely ridiculous. Now, luckily, Jonah Heim was able to redeem himself and get a big walk-off hit to give us the win. But I want to credit Michael Busch. He made a really, really good read for the Chicago Cubs. As soon as he saw Jonah Heim not play the baseball, as soon as he saw Jonah Heim not make the baseball play, instead of retrieving the ball, just allowing Michael Busch to just advance to only third, he saw Jonah Heim argue with the umpire of a disputed foul tip call that should have been called. And he said, you know what? He's just talking. He's not paying attention. He's not seeing what's going on. I'm just going to score. And he ultimately did that to give the Cubs a go-ahead 3-2 lead in the top of the ninth. And then in the bottom of the ninth, El Blondie, Travis Jankowski, who had only one home run last year, which I find really hard to believe, he hit a game-tying home run to ultimately redeem Jonah Heim. And then in the 10th inning, Jonah Heim comes through and walks it off for the Texas Rangers. You love to see that. You absolutely love to see that. Heim made up for his miscue with a two-out liner that lifted Texas to a 4-3 win on Thursday night as the Rangers unfurled the first World Series championship banner before the dramatic victory. Bruce Bochy said the big thing is he put it behind him and got a big hit. Wyatt Langford had a memorable big league debut. He had his first big league RBI and his first big league hit in this game. Look out for Wyatt Langford. This kid is going to be special for the Texas Rangers. If you haven't seen him during spring training, you're obviously living under a rock. This dude has crazy power. This dude can play designated hitter and left field. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the outfield in the next couple of games, but keep an eye out for Wyatt Langford. This guy is going to be special. Jose Leclerc, who walked Busch and didn't cover the plate, was charged with a wild pitch. Craig Counsell in his first game as a member of the Cubs said, just heads up base running, taking advantage on a little confusion on the field. We kind of stole a run right there. Chad Fairchild told a pool reporter after the game that he ruled it a swinging strike. Asked if he's seen in a replay, the umpire said he had, but refused to talk about what he saw on it. Obviously, Fairchild, I gotta hold you accountable because you're not holding yourself accountable. That was a BS call. It was a terrible call, and that costed the Texas Rangers right there. Now, if that call didn't happen and Travis Jankowski, the game was still tied. It was 2-2 at the time, right? If Michael Busch didn't score and Jonah Heim got the baseball and did what he was supposed to do, Travis Jankowski would have walked us off in the bottom of the ninth, and we wouldn't be talking about this. But you're already starting controversy to start the year, and I don't like it. I don't like opening days without with controversy. I don't like it. I really do not like it. Heim, an all-star, a Gold Glove winner last season, took full responsibility. He said, obviously, what happened can't happen. Just finish the play and go on. Thankfully, Travis came up and helped me out there, got my back, and a lot of great at-bats in the 10th inning. There gave me an opportunity to try to put something in play. Jonah, I'm not going to knock you because it is opening day. You made a mistake, but at the end of the day, like Bruce Bochy said, you ultimately redeemed yourself. You helped us get the win, and that's all that matters. Justin Steele struck out six in his first career opening day start before exiting with a left hamstring strain with 2 outs in the 5th inning. The first-time All-Star last year, when he was 15-6 with a 3.06 ERA, got hurt by fielding a sacrifice bunt. Counsel said the pitcher would have an MRI on Friday and likely was headed to the injured list. The Rangers, though, had Nathan Eovaldi, Big Game Nate, Nasty Nate, the winner in the World Series Game 5 at Arizona last year that clinched the World Championship, allowed 2 runs over 6 innings in the opener. They also had rookies Evan Carter and Wyatt Langford in the lineup with all 6 of All-Stars from last season, including Nasty Nate. Carter made his debut at the end of last season, while Langford was the DH and the first Rangers position player to make his MLB debut by starting on opening day since former shortstop Elvis Andrus did in 2009. The 4th overall pick in last summer's amateur draft, Langford hit a tying sacrifice fly in the 4th. His first big lead hit was an infield single right after El Bambino homered in the 6th inning. He was intentionally walked after getting to a 3-0 count with 2 outs in the 8th and a fielder's choice grounder right before Heim came up in the 10th. Bruce Bochy said about Wyatt Langford, I think that shows the respect that Wyatt is already in the game. Went to 3-0, so I wasn't surprised, to be honest, but I think everybody knows he can handle the bat. And by the way, can we just talk about El Bambino? An absolute hip job by Adolis Garcia. He crushed the ball to left field and simply flipped the bat. As soon as he took the swing and I saw the bat flip, he was like, I knew it was going to be gone. I knew it was going to be gone. Hey, Cubs, how could you not know that you do not pitch to the great Bambino? All he does is hit bombs. That's all he does. That's all he does. I mean, if you didn't know that, it's on you. But damn, Chicago, you need to know your scouting report. You need to KYP. You need to know your personnel. You need to know how good Adolis Garcia, a.k.a. the father of the city of Houston, the daddy of the Houston Astros, does on a daily basis. All he does is hit bombs, and that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it, because all El Bombi does is hit bombs. Christian Morel had a good game for Chicago. He went 2 for 5 with a run scored. Bush went 1 for 2 with a run scored. That was the go-ahead wild pitch, controversial pass ball call there. Suzuki went 1 for 5 with a run scored. Bellinger went 1 for 4 with an RBI in this game as far as Texas. El Bombi went 2 for 4 with a home run. Jonah Heim went 1 for 5 with an RBI, but that one hit was the walk-off. Wyatt Langford in his first game in the big leagues, he went 1 for 3 with an RBI. Travis Jankowski, El Blondi, came through with the home run in the bottom of the 9th, pinch hitting for Ezekiel Duran. It was a good win for Texas. A good win, a thrilling win, drama-filled on opening day, and the world champs begin their title defense with a win against the Chicago Cubs. That will do it for today's edition of 305 Rangers. Thank you for tuning into today's show. As a reminder, you can find 305 Rangers on your favorite podcast app like Spotify, Amazon Music, CastBox, and all that good stuff, as well as YouTube. Like this video if you are watching it on YouTube. Hit subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when the next time 305 Rangers goes live, and please leave a nice comment down below. Give the show a follow on those platforms. Turn on your notifications so you know about the next episode. Please rate, spread the word out to your friends, and give 305 Rangers a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. I am your host, Skylar Weisberg. I appreciate you all tuning in, and coming up on Monday, we are going to recap the Marlins and Rangers series as a whole. Can both teams win the series? We're going to find out. Until Monday, this has been 305 Rangers, and I'll see you guys real soon.